Hi, this is Steve. I'm in Murphy's again at the Ironstone Concour, and I ran across this car, and I'm going to make an admission here. A car I know absolutely nothing about. This is a 1961 Volga. It's very interesting, and today we're going to find out all about it. I'm going to talk with the owner here today in the garage. So I found this car. I'm really attracted to it. I don't even know why, because it's cool looking, I guess. I have to admit, I don't know what this car is. I've seen a lot of cars. I don't like to call myself a car expert, never like to use that name, but I know I've seen a lot of cars in my time. I've been collecting cars and been around cars for over 40 years. But I have to admit, I've never seen one of these in person. What are we looking at here, Dimitri?
This is 1961 Volga. Another name of it is GAZ-M20. GAZ stands for the Gorky Automobile Factory. There was about 600,000 of them that were built in Gorky Factory in those years. This is the second series. It comes with a mascot, which is a symbol of Gorky town. That mascot is a jumping deer. These cars were most popular cars in Soviet Union back then. They actually brought an idea of kind of family travel because it has kind of like couch seats, and families could take it down south to the Black Sea coast from Moscow. Many professors or dignitaries used to have one. Yuri Gagarin, the first man in space, received one as a gift from the government. And the rarity of this car is that it comes in dual color, which is as it's supposed to be. And the Series 2 had that mascot that is also very unique. It's only a few years that they issued these cars with that mascot, because this actually was hitting a lot of pedestrians, and it goes straight under the rib cage. So they got rid of it very quickly. But that's the uniqueness of it.
Yeah, I love that twin horn pedestrian impaler. That's awesome. And then part of the reason why I've never seen one of these cars is they were never marketed here in the U.S. And so, how did this car make it to these shores?
It's actually a quite simple story. I was born in Russia, so I go there once in a while, and I have some relatives. Aunt and uncle, they're retired physicians. They live in a small town about 5 hours north of Moscow. And we were just sitting in the backyard having barbecue together. And my uncle said that some retired mechanic put together the car exactly like his father had. And he really wanted to buy it. But my aunt was against that idea. And I thought, why don't we do a deal? I'll buy it, you can have it for a summer, ride it around, and then I'll ship it to California. It took me about a month. It arrived by sea. I picked it up in the port of Oakland, and that's the story.
Wow, was it this nice, or did you have to do some restoration work to it?
No, it's pretty much, the body was as this, as you see it. I did some work on the engine to make it more reliable and so forth. But and interestingly enough, I discovered that in Ukraine, in the city of Kiev, there is still a old Soviet retro part factory still working. So all the parts that I need, I get shipped from Ukraine.
Wow, that's amazing. There's still parts available for this over there.
Exactly.
That's absolutely amazing. And you can still get them. I mean, I just never seen anything like that. It has a lot of American styling influences. There's a lot of chrome on it, the two-tone paint. A little bit reminds me of a Plymouth. It's kind of reminds me of an old, maybe a Opel, maybe Commodore, Commander, one of those.
Actually, the prototype for this car is Ford mainline. Soviets had bought several of them.
Oh, okay.
And the idea was to build something that would be better than Ford mainline, which was the staple car at that time in '55, I believe it. And they adapted it for the Soviet roads. You see it's sitting higher.
Yeah.
It has some shutters that for the winter time that prevent airflow into the to prevent cooling the engine. But yeah, there's a lot of kind of like Ford features in it.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. And what does it run for an engine?
It has a 2.4 liter engine, 4 cylinders, very tight together. Many people say British looking, kind of like European. It's not like American cars with V kind of shaped engines. Quite small for a heavy like a car like this, but I guess it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does it have a manual transmission?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 3 on a tree.
Oh, okay. Very simple.
Yeah.
So I understand this car is a famous movie car in Russia. Or
Yeah, it's actually, there is a cult movie in Russia called Beware of a Car. Everybody knows it. It's like probably one of the most popular movies in Soviet Union. And the punchline there was it's a story about an interesting man who had an idea of stealing cars, but not for his own profit. He would sell them and give the money to orphanages.
Oh.
But he would not steal any car. He would only steal a car from a person who got it not through some shady deals or who would not be deserving a car like this. It's a comedy. It's a comedy show. It's very interesting. But anyway, so everyone who sees a car like that immediately thinks about that movie. And but it's been filmed in many other movies. I mean, it's all the famous comedies of '60s. They all had something to do about the car like this. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, about Volga.
A movie car, nonetheless. But yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, it's just I see so many different types of cars, and I love all kind of cars. And it's always fun to see something you've never seen before.
Right.
Just when you think you've seen it all, then I see a car from the Soviet Union, which is just absolutely remarkable.
It now lives in Murphy's. I'll come back.
It lives in Murphy's. Look at that. That's awesome. Right here. So you didn't have to go very far to get to the show.
Exactly right.
Well, thanks so much, Dmitry, for showing us this car. It's a real treat to see, and I'm sure everybody's going to enjoy seeing just something out of the ordinary, you know. And we'll catch you next time here in the garage.
Cheers.